Right, welcome everybody. Second time of the week, and this time is to talk about. Well, we might talk about 2009, but we're not intending to. Um, so yeah, AJ, Owen, and myself will be discussing a lot of things, um, including. I do find it ironic that I do all this loving on Leica that we did 48 hours ago, and then literally within 24 hours the Wildwood's first trailer comes out, and dear God, I think Kubo and the Two Strings now has beaten for the most beautiful Leica film I've ever seen. Admittedly, it's only the trailer, but dear God, I can't wait how it looks as an actual film in October. But I'm also intrigued to see how the story goes with that, considering I guess it's not been too bad in terms of adaptations for Leica, because what Box Coraline obviously was, Box Trolls was, and was Kubo? I'm trying to remember how many of them were original and how many were adaptations off the top of my head. But either way, right. With that, as previously stated in a few of the other shows, we will get underway with some review stuff first. So, to quote Cody Rhodes, what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, as far as like we talked about before, as far as the timeline of this year, we're going to be jumping around all over the
Mm-hmm.
place. I figure since it's one of the newest, we can talk about Hokum for a little bit. Owen, did you have anything to say? Just kind of in general.
I I'd say I wanted to like it more than I did. Um, it's got some really good, like earned jump scares. Like when you see the jackass character and you find out that he's basically like a pretty much like from like a children's show that he had back when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Um, the way they shot that, like the first time you see that character, that's blown in the trailer.
Oh, he's in the trailer. I guess that makes sense.
Kind of, yeah, but not completely. I didn't see anything that Damian McCarthy has done,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's because I missed out on them. But I heard nothing but like glaring recommendations from all my friends about Oddity.
Yeah. One of my big problems with this was I had really wanted to see Caveat and Oddity before I saw this, but I wasn't able to get around to them yet, so I'm still blind on those also.
Fair. I I like the concept. There's a lot of really good like jarring scenes, and I think that Adam Scott did a great job. He was channeling obviously his inner Jack, to say the least, but there were a couple really good shots, a lot of really good ambience, a lot of really good like you never know what's possible in the dark. I like stuff like that sometimes. I
Yeah.
never really been big on paranormal stuff, so the concept for this is one of those. Oh my god, it's the scariest movie of the year and everything like that. Of course, because everything has to be nowadays. The movie that we're looking at now is Passenger, which comes out next week, and of course, I can't wait to see Obsession tomorrow. But there's a lot to live up to. Back rooms, for sake of argument, when it comes to like liminal horror, kind of like watching Exit 8, which I really dug. So yeah, I mean, it was a lot to live up to. It was fine. I don't necessarily think it's something I'm going to return to because I don't really have a reason to, but it was fine for what it was.
Yeah, I'm not going crazy the way most people seem to be.
I've noticed that a lot, actually.
I feel like I'm closer to where you are, but I do think maybe in like October, like somewhere in the fall when it's like really in the season, I might want to come back to it
That makes sense.
and see where it like how it vibes because this is the kind of thing where when there's this much atmosphere, the atmosphere you watch it in also can make a big difference,
Oh, absolutely.
which is great. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Obviously, it's something you have to be patient with because, and I'm not even talking like slow burn. I'm talking like your patience with the main character
Oh yeah, absolutely.
because I'm still to this day not sure how I feel about Adam Scott as an actor.
He, he I liked him here, but he's a very unlikable character in general, and that's the point.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like I know we're supposed to think he's an asshole,
Yeah.
but good God, there's a moment you almost might call it. I mean, it's more than this, but you almost might call it a fake out. And my first thought was, "Oh, that's good." That happens way early, where his life is potentially in question. We'll say.
Well, it's like dude was just trying to like talk to him at the bar, and he has to go like overboard, and that just shows how big of a jerk he truly is.
Yeah, and I get that it's like clues to his background and he's like
Yeah.
troubled and jaded and all that, but still it's like, wow, this guy's the main character. Okay. And I'm not saying he has to be likable, but I don't want to hate the dude either necessarily. But what I think they did well in regards to how we feel about him is this is a hard movie to not spoil, by the way.
Yeah, very much so.
Um, but I'll say that I like the fact that while there's definitely going to be like this whole symbolic, obviously in the age of elevated horror, everything's going to come back to your fucking childhood or whatever.
Right.
But apart from what was going on with him and his mom thing,
Hmm.
I like the fact that the main motivation of the movie isn't about him necessarily.
Oh,
Like there's other story points that are revealed and he basically has to make things right that he initially wasn't involved in. So he's kind of a catalyst in another story. So I think that helps a lot in regards to getting used to him as the character that he is and wanting events to play out a certain way in this. So I think that's pretty well done. And it's like you were saying on the scare factor, I kind of go both ways on this. Something I've talked about a lot with horror, especially, is I love like a good, like spooky supernatural thing,
hmm.
especially when things play out like in this really big way. Like more often than not, a really good supernatural movie will have like one big like 20-minute set piece that's just 20 minutes of terror,
Sure.
which is usually the best moments of the movie. And I feel like this has that a couple of times.
Several times, actually.
But at the same time, a problem I have against these movies often, which I've talked about a lot, is seemingly endless scenes of people wandering around in the dark.
Yeah.
Usually the main character just kind of wandering around for a while. I think I counted like 3 different types of lights Adam Scott just walks around with for a while. He's got like a lantern. He's even got a headlamp at one point, and it's just a lot of walking around in the dark for a while.
Right.
I guess the good thing this movie does to counter that criticism is it sets up enough scares that we are in a lesser movie, you just get bored wandering around in the dark after a while. In this movie, you are genuinely wondering when or if something is going to show up from somewhere.
Right.
So even that nice little scare at the beginning when he sees his mom's silhouette and then he puts the lamp down and like her face is there, it's like it's it's an obvious scare, but I still feel like it's well executed enough that it's like, okay, I can get behind this. It was this almost feels like a cop out to say. I almost want to jump to saying it's Oz Perkins vibes,
Slightly.
Mm-hmm.
but they're also kind of. I can't remember when McCarthy's first movie was. And
I
where
think
I know
like
I know.
2020.
Okay, so I know. So he's probably. We've had Perkins for what, about a decade now, as far as directing horror.
Right.
In and around, yeah.
So they're more or less in the same place. It's kind of like they're like their own Eggers and Astor. They just kind of came at the same time and are comparable in a way. And talking about Eggers while we're on it, the whole folk horror thing is that's one of those things where I don't necessarily seek it out, but I could go like one way or the other on it, and I do feel like this is a better representation of that. Like I don't know if I wouldn't put this like on par with The Witch or anything, but it is a good example of this subgenre, I think. And the supporting cast is really good, especially when it's like, as far as I know, people we don't really know actor wise. I feel like Adam Scott's the only person I know in this.
Correct.
Um, so that kind of gives like I don't know if like in Ireland maybe they're big or something, um, but yeah, I like the idea of having these characters that feel like they're unknowns, and not just unknowns as far as actors, but like unknown entities in the story itself. And you don't quite know who's going to be sinister and who's going to be helpful. So yeah, it's got a lot going for it that I really like. Like I said, especially like the long scenes. A lot of the dumbwaiter stuff is really, really well done.
It's shot really well too.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's, like I said, I don't know if it's those stretches of just kind of wandering for a while or what, but I like it and appreciate it, but I don't feel like super, super passionate about it yet. Like I said, maybe when I'm in more of a seasonal vibe, it might change.
Sure.
It was also kind of it was taking me back to Cobweb a little bit, just in
I
its
never saw Cobweb, so I can't really judge that, but I know I get where you're coming from.
yeah, just kind of in their feel and the presence of an unseen character that we know is there, kind of bringing those vibes back. Cobweb is great, by the way, for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. Everybody needs to. That's a horror fan. But yeah, so I'm not. This is another reason why I kind of have shied away from doing reviews right away, as it's like I'm sure this one will get better for me the more I see it, and I might get to the passionate place that people are now. But and I don't even really pay much attention to hype anymore, so I don't even know if like it wouldn't have really even been overhype that made me feel underwhelmed where I did. But because there were other things where it's like, I guess in this age of like elevated horror and the folk horror we've already seen recently, there were a lot of moments that I can't really placed with another specific movie. I just know like a lot of things felt familiar.
Sure.
So I think maybe that was pulling me back a little bit. But yeah, overall, like you were saying, it is really well made, and the scares are really genuine.
Yeah.
I like that they could have like they have the freaky image of the jackass guy,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they could have over it. Now that I know he's in the marketing, that it makes sense. But so people might be underwhelmed by that, but not knowing anything about the marketing before I saw this, I'm glad he's something that was used sparingly. I think he popped up like once quickly, and then he has his one scene where he kind of monologues, and then that's it.
Right.
I like that. It's a very. I mean, it is. Again, I don't want to like lean back on lazy criticism, but there's Skarsgård Pennywise vibes, right?
Slightly, yeah.
I get. It's like I'm not just saying that, right? There's definitely Skarsgård Pennywise in there.
Well, it's like when he shows up the first time, that's blown in the trailer, 100%. But anything further, we don't know anything about it. There's a lot of quick flashes with the trailer, how it was put together, and there were like a lot of scenes that were kind of spoiled, but not really because you didn't know where the context was. And once you got the actual context, it actually made the trailer better.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, imagining like how people if people were to see that face in the marketing, I can only imagine what you'd probably expect. So what that character actually does in the context of the movie is very interesting and kind of unpredictable as to why he's there.
You you get the vibe from watching the trailer the first time that he's the reason everything's going around. He's the cause of everything, and he's
I was gonna
not.
say, is it spoilery to say that he doesn't really
No, he doesn't really.
he ha-
This,
he ha- he has a purpose in a bit of an abstract way.
right, correct. I also kind of got like Ethan Hawke and Sinister vibes slightly from Adam Scott, and a little bit of Secret Window thrown in there as well.
The writer with those glasses makes.
Yeah, that's the exact reason why I think it's. I just got that vibe.
Say, wow, all these characters are writers.
God,
um, let's see. Like I said, it's a hard movie to not spoil. So is that pretty much cover what we can?
that's not a bad way to describe things without having to describe anything.
So you were concerned that if I went back farther in the year, you would have a hard time remembering some of these movies you saw.
I
Back,
will tell
back,
you, I
back
am
in like February and March and stuff like that.
actively keeping up every week with adding new things to like my favorite movies of the year list, and there are movies that you will talk about today that are actively on my list, but it's hard to say because I see if I remember them well.
So that's why I let you start with Hokum. So these next two go back a little bit. Do you want? I assume you want me to start on those, and then maybe I'll bring your memory back as I go.
I'm having to live on Wikipedia here because I just wanted to make sure I remember things.
There's actually a fourth movie I want to talk about that I'm pretty sure is quite fresh to you. So
Ooh, it might be something I really want to talk about, but maybe not. We'll find out.
it's the one I've want to talk about the most.
Ooh,
So
maybe.
there's another reason it's last. Also, I don't know who apart from us is gonna care as much as we do. That's another reason it's last. So,
I'm fine with that. Let's go.
but before that, I guess I want to talk about They Will Kill You. So,
Okay.
so I didn't know a running theme in this video is gonna be I don't watch trailers, so I'm very curious how this was marketed because The only thing I knew, I'm pretty positive the only thing I knew about this movie was what its poster looked like.
Okay.
And everybody was saying with the plot and the poster and nothing else, we're basically doing Ready or Not while a Ready or Not movie is out. Wanted to see Ready or Not 2 so we could kind of compare them, but I didn't get a chance to, and I'm not in a hurry. So, um, but everybody knows that I'm not big on Samara Weaving. That's another one of my horror hot takes.
Catherine
So,
Newton is a good presence in the movie.
so my reaction, so my reaction to They Will Kill You was, you mean I can get Ready or Not without Samara Weaving? Okay, let's do this. um, well, and everybody was making Kill Bill comparisons, and it was like, and I was thinking like, anytime somebody makes a Kill Bill comparison, it's never Kill Bill like. And this, I'm assuming it's the blood sprays is why, because otherwise, I mean, okay, yeah, I guess we've got a bit of a, we're kind of playing with the timeline a little bit, but we always come back around pretty quickly.
You could
Um, with the, I know Ready or Not is supernatural. If I remember correctly, we don't. I can't remember in the first Ready or Not. I feel like if I remember correctly, we don't know for a long time if it's supernatural or not. It's like it's almost a twist that it's supernatural. If I'm remembering the first movie correctly.
Yeah,
Um,
because nowhere in the marketing did they really imply the demonic
is
connections between why everything's happening in that first film.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen it since 2019 when it first came out, but if I'm remembering correctly, the reveal that there is a supernatural element is when they start exploding, which is the very end. um, so even though there were Ready or Not comparisons, I wasn't really thinking They Will Kill You would be supernatural. So and now again, before I say anything, um, I don't know how this was marketed because I had no idea this was a supernatural movie. Because so needless to say, it was a pretty effective surprise to me that first 10 minutes. Did everybody know about that first 10 minutes going in that saw the marketing?
My God, no. So it was one of those. I feel like I walked into the wrong movie because
Or
I
you
have a feel. I
not that
have
you not that you walked into the wrong movie, you accidentally walked into the end of the movie is what it felt like.
possible, but here's the thing, and I feel the way you're going with this video is going to be a running gag of these all being secret movies, one way, shape, or form. Because Hokum was, but we didn't get it as a secret movie. It was a Regal one. Regal actually did two. They did that and over your dead body the same night. It was like back to back. This was a secret movie, and I knew that They Will Kill You was the secret movie because there's a guy that spoils it on Reddit every week, and I'm like, yeah, tell me what's going on. And usually it's the same theater chain. Then you got stuff like Fuse, which wasn't the same theater chains, but we'll get there in a bit. The thing about it is that when I saw the first scene, I was like, this. Okay, that's Zazie Beats. Okay, we're good. All right, this is what it's supposed to be. But what the hell's going on here? What is this weird story? And again, the Kill Bill comparisons, like, hey, it's the bride's daughter grown up, and that's this, and now she's at a hotel. Um,
She'd be Vernita Green's daughter grown up.
she's 100% Vernita Green's daughter. That's what I meant to say. It's been a long day. Literally, I've been working all day, and I'm very tired. The thing is, it's just like when it kicks in, and you get an idea, and because the hotel is in the marketing. So I knew there was going to be a hotel. I knew there was going to be lots of killings. I knew they were going to try to kayfabe everything because they wanted to be like, we can't show you the scenes and stuff like that. So, okay, let's get there. And I mean, they didn't really give away much in the marketing, so I'll give them that credit. But
I'm just gonna say, and it's out like digitally now, so I'm assuming it. So it's out there, and it's been out for a while, like since it hit theaters.
I don't care if it is out or not.
I'm,
I mean, I
I'm
can
gonna.
tell.
I was gonna. I feel like unlike Hokum, there's really no way to talk about this one unless we say what's going on.
Dude, this movie legit got on digital the day I got cast for Horror Nights. Yes, we can talk about it.
So let me take you through how how I was feeling when this started. Because again, I only knew a poster and a basic plot that by the time I was watching the movie, I'd already forgotten what that plot line was.
Sure.
Just that Zazie Beetz was probably going to kill a lot of people
Yes.
with swords.
Yes. So.
So, so obviously she goes to the hotel and Patricia Arquette's there being all sinister, and then she gets attacked by dudes in pig masks.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed she meets Heather Graham in the lobby. And then the whole scuffle happens. They knock her out, and it's revealed that Heather Graham is one of these pig-faced people. Tom Felton's one of them, and there's just a whole group of them. And it's like, okay, I knew Heather Graham was in this. I knew Tom Felton was in this. They're on the poster. They are main characters in this. And then, like 2 seconds after he's introduced, Tom Felton gets decapitated.
Mm-hmm.
And then Heather Graham gets killed. They all get killed. And it's like, okay. Um, it's an interesting choice to put Heather Graham and Tom Felton on the poster. But I guess if you're gonna do the fake out thing, do a double fake out thing, okay. But God, it's early. It's like 10 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't even know. Like I was saying, it's like, did I accidentally see the end first? Or are we gonna go back in time and then we're gonna come back around to this? And like all the different scenarios are going through my head of what is it going to be from here on? I have no idea. And then you could say it's on the nose, you could criticize it. I like the use of I'm Alive on the soundtrack. As the bodies walk out and we realize they are immortal and can put themselves back together. And that's who she's going to be fighting for the duration of the movie, is people who cannot die and can put their bodies back together. Um, so so you didn't know that either?
No.
The way the trailer presented it was basically this woman goes working in a hotel
Mm-hmm.
and basically gets confronted by said pig people and sort of things like that. And she's
That's
apparently trying to work out why from the way it's presented. And that's pretty much it. I mean,
Well, good
it
on.
looked like Kill Bill meets, I guess, a cross between Hotel Artemis and The Raid.
I was just getting ready to bring up Hotel Artemis.
Yeah,
I was getting that vibe a lot.
possibly just because of the nature of the building, and then of course with some of the action presented, and because it's sort of okay, not everything's set in a building, but when you think of John Wick, you think of the Continental Hotel, even though it's not like it's just contained within that hotel for sort of thing. It's like the building itself is like a character in itself to some extent.
It was also really funny because I was thinking, especially when I saw them in the cloaks and the pig masks, it was like, oh, so this is Eyes Wide Shut, but it's murder instead of orgies. Well,
Fidelia.
as it turns out,
Fidelia.
as it turns out, um, this hotel has what's called the fuck floor.
So it definitely has a
So
Fidelio floor. There we go.
yes, it does. So yeah, I kept going back and forth. There were times where I was into this, and there were times where it was like, I think the criticism that kept popping in my head was, you brought up the raid, which is definitely also comparable. But the thing about it is, think about movies like The Raid that are so cool, but they're not like, it doesn't feel like they're doing it for the sake of being cool.
Yeah.
It's like this is what this movie has to look like to tell this story. And it just kind of naturally is awesome. And it feels like They Will Kill You is one of those movies that like it really really wants you to like it really wants you to think it's cool. It's like it's begging you. And there's not it doesn't feel like the style comes to it naturally. It feels like they set out like, oh yeah, like instead of saying this shot is what would be best for this scene, is what shot is going to make the audience think we're the most badass. And it felt like a lot of trying. Now mind you, at times they did succeed, but it never felt natural. It never felt like this scene has to be done this particular way. It was for the sake of being looked at as badass rather than being naturally badass, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do love Zazie Beetz as the lead. I wouldn't change that at all. And I do like the comedic factor to it. This was something I didn't like about Ready or Not, and I think it's just Radio Silence's style, I guess, that didn't work for me. But the bits where it would try to be black comedy in Ready or Not didn't work for me. I actually feel like with this concept, once the concept is revealed, the black comedy does come to this movie very naturally. So I feel like that is actually a high point, is when it's being funny about it. When there's a whole sequence where Heather Graham's eye by itself follows Zazie Beetz around the hotel, which and when she's and you could say Deadpool did it, but I don't care. When we see Heather Graham's tiny head very slowly growing back after it's been blown off, um, is quite funny. So that that would have been a much easier place for it to fall short. So I actually do think the forced stylization is what sets it back, whereas the black comedy is working very well. And I think the setting up the concept the way they did and setting it up that early, I think helped a lot as far as it working as a black comedy. So, do we say much about the ending, or do we stay ambiguous once we get to our last act? Because
I'd
that's a
say somewhat
talking point.
ambiguous because it's still sort of something that people may be sort of eventually getting round to watching over. I mean, I think Memorial Day weekend's coming up for you guys in like a week or two. It's
Yep.
something that people might put up on things.
I guess what I'll say is this. um, we're building up to, because it seems like Patricia Arquette is running everything. But then, of course, it turns out that Patricia Arquette answers to somebody. So there is a highest up that's in full power of everything that's happening here, and this character is built up to. So the whole movie, I'm thinking a cameo is being built up to. Mind you, it is a known actor, but it's their voice. Um, and I will say that because I was expecting like, oh, is it going to be a big cameo? I was a little disappointed. But then as the climax went on and the crazier it got, the more it kind of won me over. The really weird direction it went of what that character is. So I think overall the movie did win me over, even though I thought it was trying too hard a lot of the time in certain aspects. But I give a lot of credit to that for Zazie Beetz and the way the black comedy works. So, Owen, have I brought anything else back to your memory or
I didn't like it at all.
at all?
No. Um, it got. I like violence, gore, fine, whatever, carnage, candy, whatever you want to call it. It just got to be. I don't want to say overwhelming. I would say it bored me. I was so desensitized by the time that we got to the ending. I didn't care anymore. I just wanted to go home. I hated the Heather Graham stuff. The eye thing was stupid. I didn't like it at all. It reminded me of an idea that the Daniels would have. Honestly, that's what if they were doing a horror movie. And I was like, hell no, I don't need that in my life.
I'm I'm not a Daniels fan,
As no one
but
should.
I know it. Despite the positive things I just said, I know exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah. By the time we got to the ending and like when the weapons and the finish and everything and the bizarre like finale, it was like I just didn't care. I just wanted it to end. I don't like this movie, and it's one of my least favorite things I've seen this year.
Mm.
But that's not saying much because this year has been a really great year for movies. So there's not many movies I haven't actually at least somewhat liked.
That's interesting you say. Obviously, I'm very behind this year, but I've been like from making a to-do list for this year and what I've seen, I've been feeling really weak for 2026 so far.
It's like almost every week I have something to challenge for my 10. It may not last, but it's there. And I'm pretty positive tomorrow is going to 100% because I've been waiting so long for this and it's got to be it's got to be really like underwhelming to like the nth degree for me to not like put it somewhere on the list given the fact that I've got so much hope for it and the fact that I've legitimately never seen the trailer for it because there was the teaser and then the real trailer actually played when I went to a secret movie. And the funny thing was, the workers in the theater did not turn the lights off. So the trailer shown for the only time I ever saw it was with the lights up. So I had to watch the Obsession trailer that I've been waiting to see more information on with the lights on. I really couldn't get into it. So it's like, and in the gray and obviously my love for Paul Dano and It's God Is just looks better every time I see a new trailer for it, which I'm super hyped for. So tomorrow's got a really good chance to like really put a dent in my list. But a lot of the
Right.
stuff that I've seen, I mean, I'm very happy with how the year has gone so far, but you haven't had a chance to really like crack into a lot of the stuff, like the things that I've been able to check out because of timing.
Yeah, I am definitely hyped for Is God Is, and I didn't look into anything specific. I just know that the reviews for Obsession are insane.
And they're getting worse. Because tonight is when everybody is finally going to get to see it. Like everybody's being has seen it this week, and last week as well, somehow, some way. But now we're going to start getting real reviews because most people are watching it, have already watched it by the time we do the show today.
I was gonna say, so you're thinking it's gonna be a critically loved movie, not an audience loved movie?
I think it's going to be both, and I won't know that until 1:15 tomorrow.
No, the reviews are already overwhelmingly positive from like actual
Yeah.
critics. But I will say this is a movie we haven't talked about on the channel yet. But and it's not the next one we're gonna go into. I'm just gonna say this really quick. I think something that really shot down 2026 for me was I didn't see another new release for a long time after Scream 7. I think Scream 7 bummed me out so much that I was like, maybe I just quit this year already.
We're 1,000,000% not on the same page with Scream 7, but I knew that going in.
I mean, pretty much whenever we can talk. I'm ready whenever to talk about Scream 7. I just haven't planned to yet. For some reason. It's probably its own video, man. We can debate or something.
And I'll be Walter Cronkite.
Well,
The problem, more the longer this year goes, I won't remember things.
I like just by one viewing, I could take you through that whole fucking movie right now.
Oh, I know what we're doing in a few
And
weeks'
usually-
time.
usually-
Yes.
Usually you'd say that about something you love. That's not the case here.
I've only
But-
had like truly hated this year, but we'll get there.
Do you want to talk about a movie I almost loved?
I got to see if we're on the same page about this one.
A movie I thought we're going back to like February. I thought this movie was like this might be top 10 for the year material for a while. And then I didn't. but that's not to say like, you know, the movie completely shit itself. I'm just saying I really liked it for a while and then it just kind of became something else.
Are we going back to Zazie Beetz again?
Not only are we going back to Zazie Beetz, we're going back to Zazie Beetz running away from people in Pigmash trying to kill her. It happened twice this year.
Well, I mean, right now, as of this moment, it is on my top list. I'm curious what made you have it jump the shark.
I don't know what other people have thought. Maybe other people feel the reverse of me. I don't know.
This is also another secret movie I saw this year, so yeah, we're continuing it.
This is another one where we can answer. I want to go into it first, and then you can answer this question. Right now, I'm just doing it as a rhetorical thing.
Sure.
Given the first half of this movie,
Mm-hmm.
This is another one where I'm really curious how it was marketed. Because the first half of this movie is not the same movie as the second half. The first half that I loved is basically a Black Mirror anthology movie. That's what I was really into. Where like at first it was like we have the great opening scene.
Yeah.
Where Rockwell establishes he's been here 117 times.
Yes.
And he's talked about all the different combinations of people at this diner, and one of them is going to help him save the world. And so far, the previous 117 combinations have all died. As does the world. So we're kind of jumping into, if Rockwell's story is an entire series, we're watching the series finale. That's where we're starting.
Yeah, for sure.
And he gathers up the people. Many of them are recognizable faces. Some of them aren't. but maybe just a couple aren't. But when you see them, it's like, okay, so we're gonna have to get to know this whole cast because this movie is like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and at the time I was thinking like, and I was watching it like at the end of a day too, so it's like, this seems like it might be kind of exhausting to have to get to know all these people and to care if they live or die.
My first movie day that day.
I didn't realize that was the part of the movie. Apparently, I was. Because first we get the Michael Pena Zazie Beetz story. Then we get Juno Temple's story. Then there was one more, right? Asim Chowdhury didn't get his.
Haley Lou.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like the most important character of the movie.
Important character, exactly.
And yeah, you see what I mean? Where like, even though they're obviously all set in the same universe and they're leading to the same thing, it felt like an anthology movie. And there's even the moment with and even if it wasn't the fact that one of these is actually like an actual Black Mirror episode where the clones do ads, is basically the Rashida Jones Black Mirror thing. But yeah, I was just really into that, and seeing the especially, you want to talk about the dark comedy and dark angles they take for things that we're very aware of now. I was actually quite, and you could say like it's easy or it's, shock value for the sake of shock value or whatever. I don't know. I was pretty impressed by how ballsy they were and how they handled like the way school shootings are treated and what that might look like in a bleak future. Where we get this whole sequence where Juno Temple's talking to this other couple who have lost their child 4 times to school shootings. And I just didn't quite expect to see a movie in 2026 do school shootings in such a darkly comedic fashion. The whole
They're nonchalant too.
The whole Juno Temple story is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But the reason they get away with it is because you know what they're saying. With the way they've been treated and reacted to by people who aren't involved in them.
Sure.
And then it explores the idea of even the people involved in them getting desensitized. And going into the cloning thing. And how we get to that point where the couple are adding attributes to their clones just to fuck around at this point, because they've done it so many times. Because their same child keeps getting killed in school shootings. I did not even remotely expect something like this when I went into this movie.
Considering as well it's from the guy that gave you the scripts for Invention of Lying Monster Trucks and Dora in the Lost City of Gold. It's a left turn from his previous stuff.
And it's significantly smarter than those for the most part. Again, you could say it's on the nose, or by the end it goes way the fuck off the rails, but yeah, just this whole anthology concept of where the characters were coming from. This could have been the whole. I was ready to get Asim Chowdhury's story and the other stories, because, and then just have like Rockwell's whole thing of saving the world be like, it's like the wraparound story of an anthology. And wraparounds are like, they're barely there and then they wrap up quickly. That's kind of what I thought we were going with the Rockwell angle, and it's like, oh shit, Rockwell's like a supporting character in this. But then about halfway through, we kind of finish with that. I would like to see all the different. When he talks about the woman in the diner, he keeps like falling in love with, and she betrays him every time, but he keeps trying anyway because he's like so fixated on her. And like we never explore her again. I mean, it's good. It's good that they never explore her again and they just leave that there is great and probably better, but once you've seen the other characters' stories, it's like, God, I kind of just want to do this the whole time. But yeah, then the second half is trying to save the world with Rockwell in these really ridiculous scenarios. And oh, and you said this for They Will Kill You. I think this has a lot of Daniel stuff in it too.
Maybe there's levels to it that I could tolerate certain things and not others.
Mm.
There's a movie that came out in 2024 that most people skipped out on and most people didn't like called Y2K. And I got a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't care for. I definitely get the vibes of it. I also don't like that movie, but
I did, but I know I'm very much in the minority when it comes to that, and I did get a lot of vibes from Y2K from it. So that was something that helped me with the movie. Helped me, like, other than the fact that it's very much laugh out loud funny throughout the entire thing.
and just like I said, the guilty laughs it gets out of you. How many guilty laughs it gets out of you is crazy.
Yeah.
I was literally just listening to Anthony Jeselnik talk about the whole like shock comedy is only funny when you get away with it and everybody's laughing and you're not just doing it for the shock value. And that's what a lot of this movie feels like is them getting away with a lot. And then yeah, then you get like cat monsters and stuff like that. And it's like I kind of liked when we were exploring how humans react to tragedy. But okay, we'll do cat monsters.
I was okay with cat monsters. It was fine. Obviously, I was okay with cat monsters. Why wouldn't I be?
That is pretty wild when they do the nope thing, where people just kind of get liquefied.
Yeah.
But it's like sparkle. It's like rainbow glitter shooting out of cats' mouths.
I mean, I know it's also on the nose too, but I think it's a feather in the cap for someone like me, and I don't know how many people are going to agree with this, and I don't really care because it's my opinion. But I hate AI in every way possible, and I love the idea that the concept of the movie is basically that AI is the devil, and we need to stop it before it kills us all.
I might have to apologize to whoever's watching this. Did we ever officially say we're talking about Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die?
No, haven't. You never
Oh,
once
shit.
get the name of the movie exactly. It's the first time.
Oh god. Make sure you get its poster in the thumbnail. That might help.
God, I have to pick up no, don't I? That sucks.
Yeah. Wow, we're almost done too.
Are.
um. So yeah, we're talking about Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and
We're
yeah,
done.
So I hope when I said Rockwell, maybe that was the clue of oh, they must be talking about, or maybe they Googled Zazie Beetz Pig Mask movie that's not They Will Kill You.
I mean, obviously, it's not time for Mark McDonagh's new movie, so we can't be talking about that yet. So yeah, they obviously know what we're talking about.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Dude, I see trailers for it every week, and I get more excited every time.
But I guess I've made it clear that I do think the movie went off the rails,
It very much does.
and we get to the end. There's like 3 endings.
Yes.
I mean, to be
I'm gonna
fair as
spoil too much,
well,
but I'm gonna say
that's
this.
sort of
I really
that's really been Gore Verbinski's repertoire for the past few years. Because I want to say this
Absolutely
is
correct.
his first thing since Cure for Wellness.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So 9 years.
God. So it might be spoilery to say this, but I'll say it out of context. I did like nearly fall on the floor laughing when he punched the kid in the face.
Yes.
Like,
Imagine that in a packed theater too. That
But
theatrical experience made that movie even better. And this was the first movie of the day.
But then it's like it's toying with whether or not it's going to be happy or bleak, and it's going back and forth, and it's like really fucking with you. And it's like by the time we get to all that, by the time the kid air guitars at the camera, I was, what the fuck are we doing? Like, first of all, just pick an ending.
I
But
I completely forgot about how much I like Gore Verbinski as a director of all the stuff he's done. He's done a lot of things that I get a lot of flack for liking.
what is it? The Pirates movies, Mouse Hunt, Rango, The Ring.
The Lone Ranger is what I'm referring to.
The Mexican, I think, is very underrated.
Yes.
Weatherman's pretty good as well.
Weatherman. I just killed the stream again. We're not allowed to talk about Nick Cage, apparently, on the Popcast Network.
So, and I'm still trying to decide how.
We're going crime. Yep.
Shouldn't have bring up the Weatherman.
And Nick Cage just killed the stream.
Solution that it has. He basically
Oh,
Rockwell basically says in dialogue that the movie ends in a way that it's not even sure about.
That is
It's
correct.
like maybe this. I don't know. Credits. After we had to go through like 2 or 3.
The look on AJ's face right now, if you're watching that.
I know people have a hard on. I know people have a hard on for multiverses and seeing multiverses.
Stop that.
I'd
Kill that.
rather not see them. I like the idea of being in a world with multiverses, but we only see them through the perspective of one.
Mhm.
And is able to pull that off. Like I said, just that whole first like 15-minute opening of Rockwell just talking about what has happened so far is all the multiverse I need in him. So yeah, anything else from you, Owen?
I think Rockwell's fantastic at VO.
Yeah.
In general, as an actor, he is really great at doing voiceover for movies. I liked it a lot, and yeah.
I feel like there's not a lot he can do as far as diversity because his voice is so recognizable.
Right.
But it's in his delivery that he's able to do voice work really well.
Certainly.
So we're only an hour into this video. I'm not sure how long we're gonna go on the last one. It might be a little bit because this might be a lot of branching on.
Ooh. This could be a couple.
I was gonna say, based on everything I've said, can you guess what it is?
Okay, depending on the circumstance, how long this isn't something I've seen a long time ago.
I think it's in the last week or two.
Okay. We are on the same page on this.
And it's like I said, it's something that you and I will appreciate greatly and can probably talk about at great length. I don't know how the people that watch our stuff, if they'll care as much as we do or not. But
Actually going to appreciate this as well.
What's that?
Is Ashley and going to appreciate talking about this as well.
I would assume to some degree. I mean,
Oh.
I don't see why not.
I'm trying to work out where we're going here.
Well, I thought it was something else, and then you said Ashley would be kind of lukewarm to it.
I mean, we haven't really. I don't know how much we've talked about this. I don't know. I'm sure he'll have plenty to say. I feel like this is okay. Here's a giveaway. This is something you can still have a lot to say about, even if you have not seen this movie.
We already talked about that. Hold on. Let's look around. We already talked about that. Something I've seen in the last couple weeks.
I think.
I doubt it's the one that Owen said he wouldn't watch because it's from that production company.
No, God, no.
It's
Is this
something I imagine. It's something I imagine we both love.
Ooh, I think maybe you might be on. I think we're on the same page on this.
Is this like some
Is this-
good? Is this like some good luck, have fun, don't die, and we're just going to talk about Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie again?
Yeah, always the correct answer. Is this movie family friendly?
No, not really.
Crap. Well, that would.
Think-
There goes. Yeah.
Well, here I'll give you the. It's interesting you haven't jumped to this yet. I'm okay. Wait a minute. Let me think now. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm pretty sure you said you loved this. Now I'm trying to remember if maybe you were just saying you really wanted to see it.
Oh boy.
I'm thinking you saw it. I'm pretty sure you made a comment about having seen it,
I am
and that you loved it.
Mm-mm.
But like I said, even if you haven't seen it, you would still be able to talk about this without having seen the movie. You would have plenty to say, even if you hadn't seen the movie. I sure hope this is interesting for the people watching, seeing if
Well, there's
Owen can
nothing
get.
that comes to mind immediately, and I want to. We haven't. I don't think we've talked. We haven't talked about this movie on channel yet. Is this? This is one of our favorite actors involved, correct? Nope. Never mind.
I could literally give it away now without saying what it is by saying one thing.
Go ahead.
It's a documentary.
First off, yes, it is in my top 10 right now. And the reason it's in my top 10 right now is because it's just outright hilarious, and just literally watching him on screen just not wanting to be there just makes it better every second. We're talking about Lorne Michaels' documentary, and this movie is fantastic.
Wow, that took you so long.
Okay, first off, you went direction. I thought you might go Project Hail Mary, because we haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, yeah.
You could have went the Sheep Detectives, which is a possibility. And I don't think we're going. I knew we weren't talking about Prada yet, so it's just like, well. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Lauren is 100% on my top 10 right now, and I don't think that's changing.
I assume you just weren't expecting me to say a documentary.
I wasn't expecting you to talk about Lauren. Honestly, I really wasn't.
I mean, I hadn't really planned on it, but when I watched it, it's like this would be a fun conversation to have.
Oh my god, so good! It's great because you can like play the game of like who was willing to talk about Lauren on camera and who wasn't. And it's a lot of people you wouldn't expect, and then Chevy Chase shows up, and it's like, what the hell? He actually did this?
Which is funny because you'll notice he's not in it much. Like
Nope,
like
not.
he gave them like maybe 5 minutes or something.
Gave him more than Aykroyd did.
But I didn't know he was that elusive because I've been hearing like Bill Hader and Pete Davidson and all them tell stories about hanging out with him all the time. So it made sense when like was it Sarah Sherman or Wig that was talking about he has this reputation for being like super intimidating, but if you know him, he's not intimidating at all.
See, the thing is, it's, if you don't know, it's like he has to let you in. There we go. There's the correlation. You guys are very similar. You have to let someone in before you accept to speak with them.
Yeah,
AJ
because
and Lord Michaels confirmed.
something that comes up is the blueberry farm.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I can't remember if it was Hader or Davidson, but one of them got pranked by
Correct.
other cast members when they were first in, because they were like, I want to say it was Pete Davidson, where they were like, you get to, like, we're going to get on his private plane and we're going to go to this place. Why don't you sit with Lorne? And it's like, oh my god, like, is that, like, can you do that? Can you actually sit with Lorne? And it's like, oh yeah, like, we'll give this to you since you're the new guy. Go ahead. And the punchline is that Lorne talked about his blueberry farm for 5 hours straight.
Yes.
So it's like a prank to have a really boring conversation with him.
People would do anything to speak with Lauren, and they're like, this is what he's going to conversate about for the next 5 hours. Enjoy your ride.
And he said like he was literally falling asleep, and he
Oh,
would wake up. He would fall asleep and wake up, and Lorne was still talking about his blueberry farm.
hey, you get someone wound up, you never know when they're going to stop.
But then I do love what the documentary plays with, where like, is what we think we know actually true? Like when Bowen Yang learns in real time that his Wikipedia is not even true.
Yeah, that was great. It was like, oh, by the way, you realize everything about Lord is a lie? This is great.
And I love the use of when they didn't like have clips for something, or when it was something you couldn't get out of him, but it's something like in history. They used the animation.
Yes.
They used the Robert Smigel animation. Robert Smigel's even voicing him.
Would make sense.
And okay, so actually, you know how I went into this
No.
was, first of all, we just had Saturday Night, the Jason Reitman movie,
God, I still love that movie.
which, Chevy Chase tells you is bullshit, but Dan Aykroyd says it's like word perfect. So it's interesting where Saturday Night is. But then there's also another movie called. It's something I've talked about multiple times, and it's something I watch all the time, especially if I'm trying to get like creative juices flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Just hanging out on YouTube with no fanfare is a documentary that James Franco made, where it was in 2008 and he had hosted the previous season, and then he came back for an episode they shot with John Malkovich, and it's a documentation of a whole week at Saturday Night Live, step by step,
Wow.
from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we see like every single step and every single thing that goes into it. There's actually clips from that documentary in this one.
Interesting.
And so I was like, between both movies called Saturday Night, what do we not know at this point? Because it kind of felt like they were going to go into the first episode, and it's like, well, we just saw Saturday Night, so we pretty much know that, if Aykroyd's, telling the truth. And we know what the process is, and we've even seen some of this footage, so we've seen that in the Franco documentary. So it's like, what does this documentary have left? And it is a lot about how they, like, it's what you want it to be. It's seeing what it's basically like to be in his presence.
Yeah.
Because you get that. There's even like, they talk about how elusive he is. There's a moment in the Franco documentary, where Franco gets to interview him for a little bit,
Oh, wow.
and he interviews like Higgins and Armisen and all those people. All the cast that was there in 2008 get interviewed, and you get a taste of it there, but here you do really get the sense of what it's like to be like around him and work for him. I especially love the footage at the end where we see him go out and just sit on the stage right before the show. And he basically says like, just do what you just did, but just do it good. And the way that, because we don't really get to see this, we just hear about it in words in the Franco documentary, but everything we're seeing, that step by step, is what it's been since 1975.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sitting on the floor for the pitch meeting, the way the table reads go, the way the rehearsals go, and then how it goes right before the show has been exactly the same from 1975 to now. And when we would see like intercut shots of like him now and then pictures from the 70s, and he's in the exact same position doing the exact same thing. And the way they like, was it Andy Samberg was talking like, imagine how many sketches he's read, because they read like 40 sketches at the table read before they cut them down.
Oh yeah.
Somebody actually does the math, and it's like what, tens of thousands of sketches he's read.
It's crazy to think, but it's true if you really think about it.
And you get, even though a lot of people think a lot of Saturday Night Live tends to suck, there's two things you know when you know the full process, and that is why it might suck often, and how amazing it is that they get a show at all. So it's like the South Park documentary where they can make a South Park episode in 6 days without even having ideas at the start. It runs the same way.
Sure.
And how you don't do like sketches that got dropped or anything like that. You start a clean slate on Monday and go from there. And it's like it's insane. And the way that he actually, this is the first time I've ever heard him explain in this documentary why they do that. And he basically said, and honestly, this is true. I've actually found this to be true. Um, when you're like really out of it and you're in like a haze after you like haven't slept and you've been working nonstop, the best, craziest ideas, the most like unleashed ideas are gonna hit you at like 5 in the morning on no sleep.
For
And
sure.
and that's basically how the show is written. And so, which explains some of the more unhinged stuff that's actually come out of them. So I loved kind of getting a background on that I feel like we've never gotten before. What else springs to mind for you?
I just like how open everybody was too. Everybody was there to tell their favorite Lauren stories. It's kind of like if we ever, and I'm sure someday we will. And I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. Someday we'll get our documentary about Norm Macdonald. I feel like everybody has a story. And I feel like everybody's a Lauren story. And everybody was telling the Lauren stories. They were like sitting around the dining table, like telling Lauren stories and everything like that. Well, Lauren did this, and Lauren did this, and Lauren did this. And like you actually been to his house before? I have no idea. I feel like he's a vampire. You never know. But the thing is, I like how open all the cast members throughout the years were to talk about Lauren. The weird one about it that I got a lot out of was Paul Simon and his involvement.
Yeah.
Because like it feels weird thinking that Paul Simon was like Lauren Michaels' bestie at one point.
I mean, it sounds like they've always been.
Yeah, it feels like kind of like the same way with like Paul Schaefer. It's nice because it's telling different stories throughout the years, and they went with everyone. The stuff they did with like Michael Che,
Yeah.
when him and Colin Yost would talk, I thought that was really well done. They play off each other really well, and it's like you know this, this, and this, right? It's like sure. And then all the way to never thought we'd say this in a million years back in the day when he was doing all that. That Kenan Thompson is the literal goat of SNL now.
Yeah.
Which is insane to really think about for people that grew up on him on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, when they showed him like singing pre-show,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, what sketch is this? And I was like, oh no, he's just legit singing the song.
Yes.
It's like that's how they like rev up the crowd.
Oh yeah, that's 100% how they rev up the crowd.
I also loved how, and like I said, it's interesting how criticized the show is, because one of the things that coming up is how somebody so straight faced is such like an overlord of comedy.
For sure.
And those moments of watching him like painstakingly watch Ryan Gosling's dress show,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see like how frustrated he gets with the very little details. And it's like it's insane how specific everything is. I wish there was footage of him reacting to Adrian Brody. He had, from what we see, he had to have been. I mean, the whole point the movie makes is that even when he's like blowing his top, he's calm.
For sure.
Oh my god, I wish there was footage of him reacting to Adrian Brody doing that. This documentary needed that. Or stuff like, I just want, there's even stuff from like recent shows where I'm like, I wonder how he to that. There's a great moment in a recent Coleman Domingo sketch when he hosted where he's playing one of those hosts, and the joke is like all the objects in the room are like people hidden. And he's like over it. And there's a moment where Domingo fucked up because he goes to a bookcase and he says this clock, but the grandfather clock is over here with the person. So he just like stayed in character and just casually went over and said, "I meant this clock." And it's like how does Lorne react to situations like that? I wonder, where it's still like the host handles it smoothly, but like, is he still going out of his mind?
In his head, he is losing it, but he's very calm and collected to anyone that is seeing him.
Or it's like when we see him, we see how frustrated he gets with breaking in the movie. And then it's like, because that's what Gosling's famous for at this point.
Oh yeah.
So in the most recent time Gosling hosted, when he was promoting Project Hail Mary, they made a sketch that was centered around breaking, because they put lines in, like text came up that said they haven't seen the lines they're about to say.
Right.
So the point was to get Gosling in the cast to break. And it's like, I wonder how he felt, who pitched that and how he felt about it. I really want to know now. So it's one of those, and this is how I felt when I saw the Franco documentary. And this movie kind of gave me what I wanted after the Franco documentary, which was when we saw the whole process of that Malkovich episode. And it's like, I want to see the other casts go through this process. And we kind of, not to the extent of it, but we get quite a bit of that. Getting
sure.
to see casts all the way back to the original cast going through the pitch meetings and the table reads and all that. So, yeah, overall, I just found this. I was expecting to not get much out of it just because I didn't know what I didn't know already.
Right.
And I felt pretty satisfied by this. And as far as getting like new information while being able to bask in the stuff I already love that I knew about.
This is something that I would love to see get awards consideration.
It'll be that one that keeps popping up and getting like critics wins, but then doesn't get any major stuff probably.
I would love to see it slide into a documentary category in something big in this award season coming up.
Yeah, because I always say, like, I'm not much of a documentary person.
No.
Because there's a lot of times where, like, you never know which way, like, a documentary is going to skew, and when it's been, like, it's coming from a very certain perspective, and it's, like, you never quite know if you're getting, like, the honest truth or something like that, depending on the point of view you're getting the documentary from. Then there's a lot that feel like PowerPoint presentations, and like a lot of like droning on for a while. I could watch documentaries about show business for hours.
Absolutely. If
Like I
I'm
said,
involved in something, I'm gonna want to watch it.
like I said, like Franco's documentary where he's just observing a week at Saturday Night Live. I watch that all the time. Creative.
Mm.
And like watching them work and struggle and all that. And there's you get a little taste of it in Lorne, but there's a lot more of the footage of Mulaney and Hader writing, and that's gold.
I mean,
And there's a great there's a great cut in that one that is so incredibly relatable when it's Hader, Mulaney, and Seth Meyers all in the room together. And Seth Meyers was head writer, so he's the one at the computer. And they're all like riffing, and everybody's talking at the same time, and all these great ideas are going around, and everybody's laughing their asses off. And then there's an abrupt cut, and it's just Seth Meyers like looking at his computer, stressed out, while Hader's like pacing behind him. It's like that is the full scale of the writing process. that's the
absolutely.
whole that's the whole thing right there, both sides of the spectrum. And to see that, like I said, to see that with like all the other casts, and to know that all of the legends have gone through this, and it's like when you're in school and you're thinking about like how all the people in your life had to take these tests and stuff like that.
Mm.
It's like being like imagine being like a current SNL cast member and going like, this is what Phil Hartman had to do. This
Yeah.
is what like this is what Chris Rock had to do. And the movie doesn't shy away from like, think about the fucking legends he watched. He says multiple times they're like his children and watching them grow up.
Right.
And like they didn't address this in the movie, but the movie was good enough that it made me think this for myself. Was it's like imagine him looking out at the cast like he is at the end when he's on the stage, and like seeing like Marcelo Hernandez there, and then like you're looking at him, and then you like have a flashback to when like Bill Murray was sitting there, and it's like you saw all of this happen from then to now, and it's like, imagine this is another thing the movie keeps coming back to, and it was also something I kept thinking myself was, imagine being that person that sat on that stage like the mentor of all these people that just kept going on to do these massive things. Like you see like Bill Murray come and go, and then you see like Will Ferrell come and go. You see Sandler come and go. And like the Phil Hartmans and the Norm and all that. That's another thing the documentary goes into, is the whole Norm OJ thing.
That's great.
But yeah, and the ones who didn't make it, like in life, only made it so far, like Belushi and Farley and all that. And it's like, imagine being the guy that saw all of this and picked all of those people. I was surprised how little Eddie Murphy was touched on.
Yeah.
I think the only time he was mentioned was when they showed the footage of Rock being asked if he was afraid of being in Eddie Murphy's shadow. I think that's the only Eddie Murphy mention, which is kind of weird.
There's some things in there they kind of to do with the people involved.
I wonder if I'm wondering if he has any beef with Murphy with Eddie Murphy correctly saying that he saved Saturday Night Live. I wonder if there's any beef between them with that or something.
It's possible.
Because it's clear in the movie that he sees the show as a point they make in the movie is that Lorne forgot that it's technically not his show. He
Yeah.
has higher ups. but you would never suspect that. You would suspect it was him and only him that owns the show. There was another thing I was about to bring up, and now I got to find it again. Oh, damn it. Anything
I
else stick out to you?
I do consider myself extremely lucky because as I look back on box office, it only had 415 screens. So the fact that I was able to get a showing of this makes me very happy because I don't think because like I've looked at documentaries and sometimes I'm like, okay, this is Oscar bait. I don't care about this topic. I'm not gonna watch this. I don't care. Like there was one that came out recently. Ashley, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if it came out and it might have. And there was like an AI documentary, and totally did not care. Do not care about this at all. Not something I'm going to look into. Not something I'm going to watch. You got something like Epic, which comes out and has a lot of fanfare, but like fizzles out like right away. Which Epic was fine. And like the new Cheech and Chong, their last movie, that documentary, that just came and went.
I remembered what it was.
Good.
I was gonna mention how I love that we got the different interviews. I love that Mulaney, Hader, Armisen, and Samberg were all together.
Oh yeah.
Um, and we got some of Mulaney by himself. Mulaney gets like the last line of them, and it's a great one. And the way Mulaney talks about like the way Lauren helped him through like rehab and just offered to talk to him. And I've heard, and there's a story that wasn't told in this that I've heard, where like you hear about how like he really helped Mulaney just by talking to him.
Mm.
Um, Bill Hader has a story he's told where Hader is like always filled with anxiety.
Right.
Like there was a moment where he was playing Julian Assange and he had a panic attack on air and just hit it. And without him saying anything, Lauren sensed that he was panicking and was like afraid he was going to be fired. And Lauren just brought him into the office and said, "Just so you know, you can stay here as long as you want." And that's all he said.
Right.
What I was going to bring up was we have all these interviews where they're talking to the camera. I loved the approach with Steve Martin, where instead of interviewing Steve Martin, we just got to eavesdrop on a dinner with them.
Yeah.
And I love that approach also. That's what I loved about this movie was there's so many different approaches to like how they had to go around the fact that he didn't really want to do this. They essentially bow-fingered him into a documentary.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I really loved this whole thing. I'm probably gonna be thinking of more moments I loved too after we're finished here. But is that anything else from you?
I really like it a lot, and it's something that I'm very glad I got to see because I knew I would like it, and I liked it more than I thought I would.
I just remembered another great moment I love. It's in the segment where they're talking about how much he hates it when they break. And then Jimmy Fallon is talking about how many times he was scolded for it because obviously Fallon is like Fallon and Davidson are probably the two people that are most known for that. And we get to see Fallon find out that Lorne did sketch TV in the past and broke several times on air. And we see footage of it. And they leave the mystery up in the air of so obviously he was okay with breaking back then, but now he's suddenly very strict. So if you could feel there's not I don't mean to hate. I don't mean to be shady or anything, but I feel like it's not often we see the real Jimmy Fallon. I think we were seeing the real Jimmy Fallon when he learned Lauren used to break during his own sketches. After all the scolding he took all those years.
That is fair.
So yeah, does that wrap up our review portion?
I would say so.
So what was the plan from here?
I'll run through the rest of chat. We've certainly got Bry's Oscar game. He's posted that up and everything. Spencer said, "Raise the roof. The unborn bride wars curse looms." Well, add Nicolas Cage to that, I guess. 5,000th watch of Pacific Heights, and then randomly posts Frailty or Fallen. I'm guessing that's in terms of the movies.
So that's a versus. Is he saying he watched that versus, or is he asking me right now?
I don't
Frailty
know.
or Fall?
I'm not entirely sure.
I'll take it as a question. That's definitely a what mood are you in? Today I'd be in a Fallen.
And then the other interesting one, if I can highlight it, if it lets me, because I'm trying to remember vaguely off the top of my head who was in it. Which probably means I can't give a proper answer to this. Does Perfect Getaway age well? Because obviously, I guess we'll be talking about that because it is an '09 film. I think if we're talking about that Perfect Getaway,
yeah. Um, we could wait till we get to it, but I'll actually say this now because I was actually thinking about because Steve Zahn has been doing press lately, and I was thinking about the movie again. Um, I was actually just thinking recently that that was one of my favorite movies of the year, and I do love that movie, and I remember it vividly. But sometimes, even if you do remember a movie vividly, it still might be different when you rewatch it. So I haven't rewatched it in a long time, even though I still remember all the scenes I love. The scene where they're on the beach and he's saying like, "Don't tell me, but when I turn my head, does everything just stop and go into some energy saving hibernation mode until I choose to reactivate it by looking back?" I still remember that dialogue. That's such great dialogue. So I remember it being great still. So right now I'm gonna say yes, but maybe we'll have that conversation more in depth later.
Bryce saying Cannes going on, but there is some new Oscar rules worth discussing. Yeah, I don't think we've actually touched on that yet, have we?
Um,
See if I can get the
Depending on
note
how
about
new
it.
they are.
There it is, yeah, from a couple of weeks back. Just getting up the deadline article just to make sure I'm not saying the wrong stuff. Yeah, so from this point on in the acting categories, actors can be nominated for more than one performance if the performance is placed in the top 5 votes. So, yeah, because they give the example of how Soderbergh was nominated for Best Director for both Traffic and Brockovich back in 2000. So now, we have the chance of, I don't know how you do it. I guess you couldn't really do it with Michael B. Jordan because it's the same film. But I guess it'd be the equivalent of, I know. Speaking of that, the guy that wrote the script for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, he's doing some sort of Netflix sci-fi horror thing with Wagner Moore. I guess, as one of the characters. So I guess potential, obviously it can't happen because the previous Oscars happened, but be the equivalent of Wagner Moura being able to get in for lead actor, for Secret Agent, and for this upcoming whatever sci-fi thing it is, which is promising. Then the fun I guess it will get at some point is if somebody really is prolific and just staggers films, could they just take all five spots?
I saw when this got announced. I saw a discussion on, and it did seem like the consensus was the most recent one we probably watched of a candor in 2015 for the Danish Girl and Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're in danger of it happening often if it ever does, but it's nice to know the rule is there now. I don't know that I knew that rule was in place before. That you couldn't actually.
Um, the other big one is the international film category. In that a non-English language film can also be submitted by winning a qualifying award at an international festival. So that's specific, and also just so they try and so they don't go, well, here's the Tahiti festival. They've specified that if it gets some sort of significant award, so I guess this would maybe include acting performances as well. So Berlin, Busan. Oh no, I think no. Actually, no. They have confirmed, right? So it's the top of prizes from those. So the Golden Bear from Berlin, the Best Film from Busan, the Palme d'Or from Cannes, the Grand Jury Prize from Sundance, the Platform Award from Toronto, and the Golden Lion from Venice. And as they say, the best example of that in recent times would obviously be Anatomy of a Fall, which got all the nominations and everything, but didn't get submitted as the French entry. They went with the Binoche, whatever it was, film, and that didn't even make it in the shortlist. And Anatomy of a Fall probably would have done. So we might have multiple entries from countries. And also, interestingly, we'll actually be able to do it in traditional alphabetical order now, because none of the films are going to be. It's not going to be from France, from Germany, from Bhutan. Never forget Yak in the classroom. Um, yeah, the film category for international will be credited as the nominee rather than the country or region.
I like that better. I think.
The award will continue to be accepted by the director on behalf of the creative team, but although it will go to basically that, you know, the nation of the academy that wins it, the director's name will be on the statuette as well. So as
That's
much as
nice.
you know the country can claim it's theirs, the director's name will be on it, and you can't take that off.
I mean, it still should be theirs, but I'm glad we're moving in this direction at least.
Yeah, and then also, and obviously Owen kind of touched on this earlier. Only performances, quote, demonstrably performed by humans will be eligible in acting categories.
Yes.
So all these AI actors and actresses and whatever, supposedly, that are showing up in projects will not be awards eligible.
That just it just needs to die soon. That's hopefully what's going to.
Let's hope so.
Oh, also in a few little dotting the I's and crossing the T's. um, the number of statuettes awarded for casting will increase from a maximum of 2 to a maximum of 3. So if it's a big casting crew. Uh, Cinematography prelim voting will now produce a short list of 20 rather than between 10 and 20. Interestingly, for makeup and hair, members must attend at least one of the 2 final branch meetings / roundtables to be eligible to vote. And then, the original song deal. So Diane's going to have to be careful here. A song's eligibility, the song submitted as the first new music cue once the end credits begin. The video clip must include the last 15 seconds of the film before the credits begin.
Ooh. Interesting.
So basically, you're going to have to start playing the music and fade to black, or obviously jump cut to black when you get to the big bit of the music. And also on the AI front, screenplays must be human authored to be eligible, so we can't have AI. No chat GPT scripts here. And that's just various dates for the. Okay, so the end of September was the submission deadline for international feature, at least in terms of what the national academies will put forward. Because I think off the top of my head, Venice might be just about end of September, so it might just creep in. We shall see. Right, Bry's also said, I'm on the last 3 days of my marathon. Tonight's movie is Hamnet, tomorrow Sinners, and Saturday is One Battle After Another. So the full recap will be next month. Not going to do my personal lineup this stream for a break, but I'll still do the Oscars game. I will talk about the nominees for the first Macy's Parade Choice Awards that people can vote for, but not all the categories, but it's primarily a lot of music. First awards honour the 2000 to 2005 parade. So favourite Broadway musical: Hairspray, Little Shop of Horrors, Mamma Mia, Seussical. I wasn't even aware that was a thing. And Wicked. For favourite female artist: Ashanti, Fantasia Barrino, Betty Buckley, Hilary Duff, and Raven Simone. For male artist: Aaron Carter, Tony Bennett, Billy Ray Cyrus, Kenny G, and Usher. And for music group: Baha Men, Bare Naked Ladies, Boyz II Men, Kool and the Gang, and Rascal Flatts. Favourite float: Bob the Builder, Carousel of Imagination by Lego, Macy's Toon Balloon, Aberration, Sesame Street 0203, and then 123 Sesame Street 04 to the present. And then favourite balloon as well: Bandleader Mickey Mouse, Charlie Brown and the Elusive Football, version 2 of Kermit the Frog, version 1 of Pikachu, and version 1 of SpongeBob. Then Josie comes in. New watches: Primer, Upstream Color, American Madness, The Major and the Minor, A Moment of Romance, Full Contact, Slap the Monster on Page 1, The Jade Rashka, The Bells of Death, Never Give a Sucker an Even Break, The Immigrant, King Boxer, aka Five Fingers of Death, and Teachers. And then in relation to some of your some of the review stuff, I'd rather kids watch the creepy donkey show in Hokum rather than Coco Melon or Paw Patrol.
I was just going to comment on Josie's list of movies there and say it sounds like somebody just discovered Shane Carruth.
I think she mentions that.
I hope you enjoyed him.
Oh, there we go. Who would win in a fight? The creepy donkey in Hokum, Jenny the donkey, or Eeyore?
Only one of them is threatening.
Yeah.
Well, even then, he's not mildly threatening. He's just there to, talk you down.
I mean, for all we know, Donkey with headphones is actually going to be the one that does you, because he's got the headphones that he can throttle you with his hooves. Was watching Mask of Zorro today. Josie also was as well. Do you want to mention a few of the? Because Josie says, "Do you still have the messages of the adaptation game that we didn't get to last Q&A?"
I don't actually. I haven't got. I can't get to my email right now.
Righty ho. Oh, Josie also says, "Would the guys from Banshee survive the Hokum Hotel?"
I would think. It's weird how much I actually want to think about this. I feel like. Why do I feel like Farrell would just focus on getting out and Gleason would stay? Gleason's character is just really stubborn. I don't know. Well, I mean, well, spoilery stuff, but both of them have similar things happen at their end. So, what Farrell does in Banshees, he'd probably do in Hogan.
Josie says, "Won't give spoilers, but part of the film made me think of a campfire episode of SpongeBob." Considering the Banshees thing, I now get that.
I think she's talking about a certain shape. We'll say. I don't even know if that's really spoilery. We know what she means.
Handsome Squidward. That's what she means. Yes. Ooh, interesting. Hot take from Josie. The Immigrant might be my favorite Jeremy Renner performance.
It would probably be up there for me. Mine's probably still The Town, but The Immigrant would be in there for sure.
That magic show scene is incredible, she adds as well.
Yeah. I'm surprised this was a first time for her.
Josie also saying, "I wonder who would adapt Adam Scott's character's Conquistadors trilogy."
I gotta be honest with you. That story seemed boring as shit.
Yeah.
So one of the Farrelly brothers. There we go.
I think it's because his character just seems so fucking pretentious.
Yeah.
That I imagine his books are.
No, that's pretty fair. Birthdays today: Tim Roth, George Lucas, Sophia Coppola, Kate Blanchett, and the bassist from Alice in Chains. Parsnip has asked me, "Do I watch Eurovision?" I've been watching that this week. I've just finished Semi 2. The UK song was terrible. I don't mind the UK song this year, mainly because I'm into that sort of electronica style, and I've heard some of his stuff before on YouTube, and it's not something that sort of I would openly turn off. I couldn't work out what last year's entry was. It didn't help that the title was "What the Hell Just Happened," because that's what I felt after hearing it half the time, because it's like, it's trying... I don't want to say it's trying to be Bohemian Rhapsody, because that's really trying to say that it, talking too good about it. But it's like, it doesn't know what tempo or style or what it wants to be, that track, which is why I felt it was going to suffer anyway. I don't think it deserves 0 points. And again, Eurovision's got enough on its plate with the Israel issues and everything that have been cropping up, especially with the New York Times investigation and everything. Yeah, Josie mentions here that I saw it earlier. I've been on sort of a martial arts kick, as you can tell from the first time watches. Watching a lot of the Shaw Brothers classics. And then asking myself and you, AJ, what Shaw Brothers films have we seen?
Probably just the horror one. And I gotta remember what those are off the top.
Now I'm trying to remember if the film
Was Devil Fetus is one of theirs, right? I just saw that one last.
Think so. Doesn't seem to be like any page that gives me a list of them.
After Tuesday, I'm afraid to touch my fucking computer in case it die. So I can't look anything up, but they do the craziest fucking horror shit. And I've seen several of them. I don't think Seeding of a Ghost is one of theirs, but they're in that vibe. If anybody's seen that.
Trying to double check. I mean, I'm trying to double check now as if the one that I want to mention is the one. Okay, I'm just double checking. I'm trying to find it. There's that. There's. Ah, so it isn't one of them. I think probably it's a Golden Harvest one instead. But the Man from Hong Kong. I don't think it's technically a Shaw Brothers. But obviously,
there's a possibility I'm confused, but
yeah. Trying to just
they do horror, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Golden Harvest is the distributor. I think that's where I get confused because I see Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest. I just think it's the same thing, even though it isn't. Oh, and then Josie says favorite martial arts films. Trust me, I don't think we haven't done it for Movie Club yet, have we, or did we? I want to say we did, or if not, it's like next on the list for me.
Which one is that?
Oh, The Man from Hong Kong.
Oh no, we haven't.
No. I want to talk about George Lazenby when he isn't doing James Bond, except he kind of is because they literally play James Bond music the first time you see him, or like not. You're like, it's the old bloody the Godzilla joke from what movie? Is it Austin Powers? Where it's like, legally we can't say Godzilla, but there's that big thing.
That's a gold member, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. It would probably be one of. I mean, I'm basic as fuck. It'd be a Bruce Lee movie or a Jackie Chan. It's not a genre I've explored enough that I probably should. I'd have to get back to you on that.
That in terms of classic era, that's always sort of had the same sort of charm, even more so than something obvious like Enter the Dragon. But in modern times, yeah, Raid 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Incredible from some Welsh guy just meeting up with like, yeah, let's do an Indonesian martial arts thing.
I didn't even think of that because when I think martial arts movie, my mind immediately goes to the like without even thinking.
Yeah. With the release of Sheep Detectives, which movie farms would you like most want to visit?
I don't know that I'm the type that would enjoy visiting a farm. Period. So I'd have to think of it from a certain kind of perspective.
Uh,
I mean, not to take away from all the hard work that happens there.
uh-oh. Well,
Wow.
I'm dropping frames for whatever reason. Hopefully it reconnects. I think we're reconnected, everybody. I now need to double check because I don't know. Oh, great, I can't even look. Hopefully we're still there. If anybody in the live chat can put anything. Don't know what happened. I dropped into the yellow and the red, which meant, I disconnected and whatever. Oh, Josie said, for clarification, in the adaptation game's not on the email, it's Messenger. Yeah, I think with the way Owen's phone is and everything, he doesn't have access to it right now. So we'll try and have it ready for next tweet. Spencer mentioning I started rewatching every 2000 film from that year. Josie just finished listening to the Moon by Michael Mapergo, the author of Warhorse. It was fantastic. There's an animated film adaptation of it called Lucy Lost that's playing at Cannes this year. With the release of Obsession, favorite obsession thrillers or horror movies centered around obsession?
Fear.
Yeah. Is it weird that I think of Fear before I even think of Fatal Attraction? Like that's how branded in my brain Fear is.
Yes.
I was just exchanging movies at a thrift store, and I had a copy of Cape Fear. And the guy was like, "Man, I've been looking everywhere for a copy of Fear with more." And it was basically, "Oh, I've got it. I'm not giving it away, but I've got it."
Yeah.
Play Misty for Me would probably be up there.
Yeah.
Because play Misty for Me is kind of the blueprint for Fatal Attraction, and then Fatal Attraction is the blueprint for everything else. I don't know if there's any fans of Swim Fan out there, but I wouldn't call myself a fan of it, but I've seen
I
it multiple times.
liked it a long time ago. Yes.
I think Fear and Swim Fans even have a video on this, actually.
Sure it is.
It's like 45 minutes of me talking about Fear and Swim Fan. God, it's like its own genre for sure. There's a ton of them, and I know there's a good one, but they're mostly in that. When we talk about our fascination with the '90s trashy thriller, a lot of those are obsession based. Single White Female, Hand that Rocks the Cradle. Those are kind of obsession based in their own ways. Single White Female for sure. Hand that Rocks the Cradle, I'd say kind of falls into that, if I remember correctly. She's obsessed with the baby. Anyway.
Juno Temple Story and Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die was probably the most interesting to me too. Speaking of end of the world movies, thoughts on 1988's Miracle Mile? That's a fun apocalyptic film.
I actually have not seen it. It's been on my radar for a long time, but I still haven't gotten around to it.
It's cool that Anthony Edwards and Mayor Willingham are married now. Did the film cause it? Who knows? Sight unseen, I think Malkovich is going to win the Oscar for lead actor for Wild Horse 9, at least as of now. That's an early no guts, no glory prediction of mine. Mouse Hunt is a
Don't
childhood favourite of mine and a comedy masterpiece, going on the Verbinski stuff.
Yes. Don't put it in my head too early that Malkovich could win an Oscar for a Martin McDonagh movie. That is too much to handle right now. I want, I want, I want it too badly. And if my mind gets married to the idea, I'm gonna be dis.
This is an interesting one. AJ, your thoughts on John Sayles returning to filmmaking with Chris Cooper and Amy Madigan on board to star in it?
Well, number one, I didn't know that was happening. Number two, I was just wondering lately where Chris Cooper is. And yeah, because they did. He's done several, like Maywan and Silver City. They're like, they go like hand in hand. And Madigan, yeah. I didn't know this was a thing, but I'm down. What was Sales' last movie?
Let me quickly check.
Has he done one since Honey Dripper?
Go for
Gosh, that has to
Sisters
be. That's him.
in 2013.
Oh shit! I only know that movie by its title. I didn't know that was one of his.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Which one did
Okay.
you say it was off the top of your head?
I wasn't sure if like Honey Dripper might have been.
Yeah, Honey Dripper was '07. He also did Amigo in 2010,
Hmm.
which was about the Philippine-American War in like the early 1900s.
Well, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned this, Josie, because I'm totally down for this.
And he is credited as one of the co-writers on The Grey House that just had its first season go up on Amazon a few months back. But yeah, apparently he is back to doing filmmaking for the first time in ages.
I would say, oh, I don't know how I feel about that, but with Cooper and Madigan, I'm getting good vibes off this.
Josie's saying my possibly controversial opinion on the new Academy ruling that one actor can be nominated in the same category. I like the idea of acknowledging an actor that gave two great performances in the year, but I don't like the idea of one actor taking up two slots in a single category. That said, I think if someone were to be nominated, it should be for both films in a single slot, which I know is tricky because they're separate performances.
Even even with this being a rule now, I feel like it's something that would be very difficult to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like people will still, if they have the option of one, they'll still choose one. I would think. Maybe. I don't know. We know we've seen those anonymous ballots, and some of them are really fucking weird. So I guess we don't know.
I thought Primer and Upstream Color were both great films, so I do acknowledge that Shane Carruth is an awful human being. F that guy for abusing Amy Smets. But I can separate art from the artist.
I get in trouble when I talk about Shane Carruth, so I'm not gonna say anything.
I would say so. Spencer followed up with the Every 2000 film from that year with Next Friday, and is watching Supernova apparently tonight. And then
Oh my God. Which version of Supernova?
I guess the one from the same year as Next Friday, so like 2010ish.
It has like multiple cuts, doesn't it? I mean,
Oh,
like
right.
either way, it's considered like one of the worst movies ever, but still.
So a couple of 2010s opinions here. Thoughts on Ghosts of Girlfriends Past? Because I think that's 2010, right?
That's so 9.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I don't know that I have. The only thing I take away from that movie is said about it. Otherwise, I don't really remember.
that one I'm pretty sure is 2010 because.
And when one time Breckenmeyer was on Conan and he had an anecdote,
Mhm.
and I remember that, but the movie itself is pretty vague to me. Maybe I'll rewatch it before. So
The
I
other
think
ones are
it probably
2010. That's what I was getting confused with. Thoughts on Legion? Honestly, I think kind of underrated. I feel at this point it should be sort of be done more appraised, like how Constantine over time has really been looked on as actually being really good.
this is interesting time because I just rewatched it last year.
Mm-hmm.
This past October, I watched it again. It's okay. It does have some great memorable horror moments, like the old lady crawling across the ceiling and the Doug Jones ice cream man monster thing, and the concept with the plagues and all that. I love a good Kevin Durant antagonist, but it also feels like it almost feels it goes all out, but somehow still feels like it never quite takes off.
Pun intended.
And wasn't it? It has a sequel series, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, the Amazon thing, which I think generally was better. I might hang on. Am I getting my poor Bettany films confused? No, Legion was all right. Priest was kind of shit.
Yeah, I get those confused all the time. Also,
Yeah.
I think Priest was what 2 years later,
The
2011.
following year, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, May 2011 for Priest, and Legion, I think, was January 2010. So about a year
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
half.
very big. Yeah, that's right. My mind. I knew Legion was 2010, but my mind was still in 2009. Yeah, it was one of the first movies of 2010.
And then an interesting one, at least for me, knowing the original source material. Thoughts on Edge of Darkness, the Mel Gibson one.
I was super hyped for it, and then ended up disappointed because I don't think it was quite what I expected. It was a lot more. No, mind you, I haven't seen it since January 2010 when it came out, but it was I remember being put off by how kind of unpleasant it was. Where I'm expecting a brutal movie and everything, but it was I don't know, just something really put me off about it. And then when they tried to have that emotional ending, I still remember the last shot so vividly, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from? And it's like you have this whole brutal movie for 2 hours, and then that sentimental bullshit is the ending. Um, I don't know. I just remember being really put off by it when I was really hyped for it. But I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it, but I wasn't. I didn't care for it, and I was really excited for it too.
Yeah, I think the original one has the more poignancy to it, I feel. Especially because, we were sort of still dealing with the remnants of the Cold War, and so the radiation stuff seemed, and I felt, was dealt with better than, it's radioactive milk. Like, uh, but it's not bad for what it as an adaptation of it. What it is, and to be honest, I also enjoy a lot of Campbell's work as director. Um, then again, I haven't seen like the last couple of years. I don't think I've
He's
seen
been
Cleaner or Dirty Angels from his recent stuff.
he's been doing a lot of stuff lately where it's like I'm really surprised this wasn't straight to streaming. But I think since the Protege, he's been kind of in. Cleaner's actually not bad for what it is, but he's definitely not the Campbell he used to be. Because even with you could say, oh, he fell off after Green Lantern. Since Green Lantern, he's had the Foreigner. Oh my god.
Oh,
And like,
I didn't realize that because I haven't seen the original series in a while. He actually directed the original series.
oh wow,
So
that makes
he did
sense.
both. And then he's upcomingly. Oh, he's doing a Samuel L. Jackson action film. Oh, and Eva Green's in it. Oh, so it's a semi Casino Royale reunion. I guess that'll be coming out at some point. Question mark. And then a couple of Sandra Bullock things Spencer mentions. Thoughts on the net and 28 days.
I've been talking with a friend about the net lately. We're mostly laughing at it. I have only seen it once. That was back in my Hollywood renting days. And I thought I was a kid. I was probably 12 and I thought it was the dumbest, most boring fucking thing. I haven't seen it since. I'd be curious because now the dated quality of it is like, you know, you can enjoy it as a comedy. But um I don't remember much about 28 Days. That's the rehab one with Buscemi, right? And her.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Tudyk might be in that too, maybe. I remember them being there. I don't remember much else about the events of the movie. I think I remember it being thinking it was fine. Like one of those ones you go into and you're like, I don't think this is gonna be my thing, and then you watch it, and it's like, oh, this is I'm okay with this, I guess. But I can't say I remember anything in detail now. So yeah, but I've been interested for a while to rewatch The Net to see if it's entertaining at least, which I hear it is, but I just remember when I saw it when I was like 12, I just really loathed it.
Right, so final thing to do. Bry's Oscars game. This time covering and finishing up makeup and hair with the 2010s, where we will add in the shortlist mentions as well for them. So in 2010, The Wolfman won over Barney's version and The Way Back, adding the note that throwback to Kate Blanchett presenting the award, who said about Wolfman's makeup, "That's gross." And then the shortlisted ones that year were Alice in Wonderland, The Fighter, Jonah Hex, and True Grit.
Well, um, as in total, this is a very underwhelming lineup
Yeah.
because I will go on. I've made a video about it. I could go on and on about how underrated that Wolfman is, but even Baker was baffled because he's like, most of that's not makeup. Why am I winning this? So, for whatever is there, I would say the Wolfman, I guess. The Way Back's one that's got like I remember was it Ed Harris? Somebody had like a swollen like a swollen angle or something that looked really just That's the most of what I remember of that. I think they also had to look like weather by the desert. So there's probably a lot of subtle stuff in there that I just don't remember because I haven't seen it in 16 years. Um, Allison, we're not going down the Allison. That shouldn't have won anything. Um, maybe the costume win is fine, I guess, but everything else, that movie's hideous.
Yeah.
That movie's so fucking ugly.
Uh, Owen.
The Wolfman.
I'd probably go with Wolfman as well. That's not a great list. Even, as I say, even with the shortlist included. So for 2011, Iron Lady beat out Albert Nobbs and Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2, with the shortlisted ones being Anonymous, The Artist, Gansborg, A Heroic Life, and Hugo.
I'm sorry, this list almost put me to sleep. Um, I guess I'd go Albert Nobbs on this.
Yeah, it's for the makeup that they have to do on Glenn and what's her name for the Janet
Janet
McTeer.
McTeer.
I'd go with that. Owen?
Albert Nobbs.
2012. Les Mis beating out Hitchcock and Hobbit on an Unexpected Journey. The shortlisted ones being Lincoln, Looper, Men in Black 3, and Snow White and the Huntsman.
I might go Men in Black on this. I assume we're mainly looking at Jermaine. We got haters Andy Warhol look. I'm not sure. By the time we get to 3, I don't know what's makeup and what's C. A lot of it's probably CGI, right?
Yeah.
By 3, but based on like Jermaine, I'd probably go get. God, these lists are really under. Um, what they did to Hopkins for Hitchcock is impressive, but he still looks like Hopkins. The Hobbit, I guess, would be a good go-to, and so you'll notice I'm avoiding Les Mis. Really, no, I don't. I don't know.
I'm trying to
I'd
remember.
say
Did they make Gordon Levitt look enough like Willis for Looper?
I think the idea was for him to look like Willis. I don't think he looks like Willis,
Yeah.
but I think it works. What they did works better than if he just looked like Gordon Levitt.
Yeah.
So it's got that going for
I'd
it.
probably go with Hitchcock, though, with that. Owen?
I think I'd be split between Hitchcock and Men.
Yeah. 2013. Dallas Buyers Club beating out Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa or The Lone Ranger, with the shortlist being David O. Russell's American Hustle, The Great Gatsby, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, and Hunger Games Catching Fire.
If I remember the narrative correctly, I think the reason we're all under the impression Dallas Buyers Club won was when it came out. They had like what, a $200 makeup budget.
Yeah.
They literally, it was basically makeup you could do at home.
Yeah.
They did in that movie. Which is it. I have to side with the Academy. It's hard not to vote for that when you see how well it comes off.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go with that. Owen?
There's no way I'm not going with Dallas Buyers Club here.
That's fair.
Hunger Games is a good option also.
For 2014, these 3 alone is awesome. Grand Budapest beating out Foxcatcher and Guardians of the Galaxy. And then the other shortlisted ones were Amazing Spider-Man 2, Maleficent, Noah, and Theory of Everything.
I like a lot of those movies.
I feel like the Gordon Ramsay meme when he says, "Finally, some good fucking food."
Yeah, hopefully I can say that soon.
I'm going. I don't want it to seem like I'm biased towards the movie. I'm just picking my favorite movie of this group. And it's kind of the obvious choice too. I'd probably go Foxcatcher.
I'd probably stick with Grand Budapest because every time I watch that, I keep forgetting that that's Tilda Swinton. The job that's done
I
on
think it,
her is kind of incredible.
another reason I'd say Foxcatcher is it's one of those. It goes with him and his mate where it's with Carell, it could have been like really, it could have overshadowed him. But it's one of those cases where it definitely feels like the makeup just enhances the performance rather than being the performance. And I
Yeah,
think a lot of that, on top of how great Carell, like maybe all-time great Carell is, it would also have to be the makeup's job to not be too over the top or not be too like taking the attention away from him and his performance. So finding the middle ground there where both of them can shine equally is had to have been tough.
true. Owen?
Going with my favorite movie of that year versus the performance that deserves to win. Um, yeah, Foxcatcher is the right answer here.
2015. Mad Max Fury Road beating out the 100-year-old man who climbed out the window and disappeared, or The Revenant, along with the shortlisted Black Mass, Concussion, Legend, and Mr. Holmes.
I'm glad Black Mass was here. I hate to be a broken record, but I feel like everybody has the same thought. It's like when Fury Road's here, it's hard to not say. And this is another one too where it's like it's not even just what's prominent, it's when you think about all the background people that are also in makeup. It's
Yeah,
like a really elaborate job.
in that extent, it's sort of the closest to compare it to from what we've talked about so far is Les Mis, because it's like it's not just like it's key work on one person; it's like a work on a like massive ton of people.
Yeah.
I kind of want to give it minus points though for that bloody for the energy thing, just literally being silver cake spray on icing. But yeah, for a lot of the work in that, I'd say Fury Road. Although shout out to Legend as well because
Hmm.
the work they did on Hardy to at least be Ronnie, I think. I think Ronnie was the one with the glasses rather than Reggie. Can't remember.
I think so.
Was well
I'm
done.
having trouble with the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Hi Alexa.
Don't do that.
That doesn't sound that doesn't sound good. We're almost done.
Oh, and you pick.
I'm petty. I hate Fury Road, and I don't care. I'm going with the Revenant.
That's fair.
Oh, here we go. 2016. Suicide Squad beating out Man Called Over or Star Trek Beyond. And then the shortlisted were Deadpool, Dressmaker, Florence Foster Jenkins, and Hail Caesar.
God, Hail Caesar should have been so much better than it was.
Answer this question once and for all, somebody. Is Adewale Akinnuoye in makeup in Suicide Squad?
I don't think we can answer that question. I don't think anyone knows.
If Adewale Akinnuoye is in makeup in Suicide Squad, it's Suicide Squad.
It's 100%.
If that's CGI, that's one thing. If it's makeup, this conversation's over.
I want to say, at least from what I can tell, it's like there might have been some graphical touches to enhance it a bit, but I think they did somewhat make him up to some extent to at least give the right vision.
Let's find out.
Because the people who shit on this win because they're only thinking of Leto and Robin, I never see Killer Croc mentioned, and it's like, if that's makeup, we're not. This isn't a discussion.
Check. Da, 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 da. No, judging from the picture I can see from on set, that does appear like it is practical makeup.
There's our answer.
Yep.
There's a guy literally painting it on him while he's in his boxers or whatever the hell. So yeah, it's that.
Yep. Confirmed.
We've been saying that for a decade, but I've never actually looked to make sure.
I can 1,000,000% confirm it.
Good.
For 2017, Dankest Hour beating out Victoria and Abdul or Wanda, with the shortlist being Ghost in the Shell, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I, Tonya, and Bright.
God.
I forgot that that film existed.
I don't know most of the movies
Bright,
out.
Bright's not good, but what they did to Edgerton, and Edgerton's the most prominent one. I'm pretty sure several people are his species. I can't remember what it is, but um, Oldman looks really good. I've never had a problem with Star Win, but I'm pretty big on Guardians too, also. But then again, there's probably there. Well, never mind. I was gonna say there's a lot of its carryover from Guardians One, but not. There's like a lot of new characters in Guardians Two. Maybe I'm talking myself into Guardians Two. Yeah, I'm gonna talk myself into Guardians Two. Why not?
I'd probably stick with Darkest Hour.
I guess with Darkest Hour, you can have the Foxcatcher argument where you had to make sure it wasn't too over the top so that he could still perform at, like, you could still give Oldman praise without him being overshadowed by the makeup, which they clearly did.
Yeah. Owen?
Uh, well, I didn't like Darkest Hour, but I can't deny the makeup.
2018. Shortlisted were Black Panther, Borat Horseman, Stan Nolly, and Suspiria. But then the actual awards was Border and Mary and Queen of Scots losing out to Hot Damn! Good old Vice.
Okay, so with Bale alone, because Bale's the one that looks the best. Like, you can still see that Carell's Carell and Rockwell's Rockwell, Perry's Perry, and so on. Um, but like when I would see actual real footage of Dick Cheney, I'd forget that it wasn't Bale.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, when Grand Budapest was here, You mentioned Tilda Swinton.
Mm-hmm.
um, Suspiria did not make the cut.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty clear cut answer for me.
I mean, not just for her, but at least by the time we get to the end, what happens to Dakota as well?
Yeah, just when everybody is like mangled. But
Yeah, it's probably close between Vice and Suspiria for me as well. Owen?
I think I'm split between the two.
Yeah. And then for 2019, Bombshell beat out Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and 1917. Because that's, of course, the first time that we went to 5 for that year. And then on the short list, Rocketman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Little Women, Downton Abbey, and Dolomite Is My Name. Yes!
much as it pains me to say anything positive that has anything even remotely to do with Megan Kelly, how did they change the shape of Charlize's face inward?
Yeah.
That's still insane to me.
Still, sometimes when I see that artwork, if I'm sort of looking through my local, you know, DVD, Blu-ray shop, and sometimes it sort of comes up. Half the time I still have to second look at either that or even by chance if I just see the poster, if I'm just looking at sort of films and whatever, and I keep forgetting, oh wait, that's Charlize Theron.
Oh, and it's on you. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. But Bombshell does make sense.
Notice we didn't even mention Lithgow, by the way. Who's like buried.
Hmm.
But what they did, that doesn't even seem like makeup on Charlize. It seems like surgery.
They already did that movie. It was called Monster.
Is that it?
Yes.
At about the 2.5 hour mark, I think.
Yeah. AJ, you have to make the call now. So the next time round, we'll be doing film editing. So we've got the sporadic ones from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and the 80s.
Do 80s.
Righty ho. It's 80s, bro. Josie saying thanks for the stream. It was so much fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Obviously,
Thank you.
fair bit of review discussion. Next time we do this, with my schedule, it might be easier to do it in 3 weeks rather than directly in 2 weeks, because that week is totally free for me. So technically, we could go longer, depending how much these guys want to talk about other films. But then that also gives us a chance, because I'm trying to think. Obviously, if we did go 3 weeks, at that point we've got the chance of obviously Devil Wears Prada 2 being brought up. Eventually, I'll get round to the Sheep Detectives, because, dear Lord, Obsession will probably come up. Maybe Mando and Grogu. Probably I Love Boosters, because it's Boots Riley. Dear Lord. And apparently, according to whatever it was video that I saw yesterday, everybody wants to sit next to Kiki Palmer. So she must be... Something happened there. And then oh yeah, we'll also have Backrooms by then if we did do it in 3 weeks as well. So Oh, and Propeller One Way Night Coach. John Travolta's film. Oh no. Oh wait, is it going to be on stream? Oh, it'll be on streaming by then, so Owen won't have to watch it.
I don't think he'd want to.
John Travolta was my favorite actor.
Maybe it'll be surprising.
Apparently it did.
I will never.
Apparently it showed up today at Cannes because it was in the non-competitive section. Oh no, wait, hang on. It's because it's Friday for me already because midnight. Friday is so tomorrow. For most of you watching, is when it actually shows up at Cannes. So that's when we'll find out how much of a standing ovation will it get. Because if it gets 0, oh dear. Oh, it's also only 61 minutes, so it's not. It's a movie kind of. That feels like it could be just put on TV if it's an hour.
Yeah, or it's like one of those like event like those movies you watch at like an attraction, like one of those.
At the Sphinx.
Like what's that Craig Sheffer movie on the mountain that's only like 40 minutes long, but it's an actual movie, but it was made for like a 3D experience or something. I'm very curious to see what these reviews are. I kind of can't wait.
Righty ho. So yeah, Tuesday to be time to be confirmed will be part 3 of the retrospective, predominantly covering March. And then we'll probably let you know then in terms of what the schedule will be for following week. Probably more than likely it'll be another Tuesday the following week to do part 4 of the retrospective. And yeah, we'll try and do another one like this just in a few weeks, just because it'll fit in with my schedule a bit easier to be able to stream the thing for you guys to watch. Before Owen does the full-on outro, which I might as well contribute into a little bit, there will be a new McDonald's video from me getting uploaded after we're done here, so whether that goes up tomorrow or over the weekend, it'll be there. The other one will be filmed relatively soon as well, so you're going to get some more food content from me. / drinks, which we'll get to. Go ahead, Owen, with the rest of the spiel.
I got excited. I was at work today, and all of a sudden I got a notification sent to my Apple Watch that AJ was online at 2:00 in the afternoon. I was like, "Oh man, is he recording things?"
No, I wouldn't be on here.
I thought that was weird. I thought you were like filming a video when I saw you pop on Discord this morning.
I left it open all day so that Discord would have time to sit here in hopes that what happened Tuesday wouldn't happen.
I got excited when I saw you pop online. I was like, "Oh my god, is he filming?"
Does it seem to have worked? Have I been fucked up at all?
A couple of times, but not to the extent and the length that you were on Tuesday. So
you didn't kill the stream.
So just the normal amount, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But I am doing obviously I'm gonna do the Prada video like in the next day or two. And then the others I mentioned, but Prada's gonna be the priority.
That makes sense. So that means you're confirmed you're getting AJ content within the next week.
Hopefully over the weekend.
That would be nice. I think given the circumstance being what they are, I feel like a Prada video for Saturday would make perfect sense to me.
For that, yeah.
Given what it is, yeah, absolutely. If we can make that happen, yes, for sure. So AJ, we'll have more content coming up in the future, and we'll continue to do these long form reviews as part of your every couple of weeks, maybe every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks ish. No actual schedule as a part of live shows here. So Ashley can be, of course, found on X at is Ash is my name. Okay, I can be found on X at Sir Owen Disney. And I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, whether live or in archive. It's a very special day, and I feel like that makes sense that I would say it is literally the best day ever today. And always remember that it is the week and the season of sin. So enjoy yourself this week. So in the meantime, Jinx comes out on July 24th, so that's going to be coming your way very soon. Water parks are actually going to be with the yellow card during Horror Nights, which I can't go to, which I'm sad about. But I'm sure that means we got a tour coming sooner rather than later. That's your show. Always remember, watch Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, because everyone needs to. And if you haven't yet, go check out Blackberry, watch The Dirties, and realize how wonderful of a person Matt Johnson is, because, yes, that is correct. Heck, even just watch the new trailer over and over again if you want to. That'll work too. AEW is the greatest. And in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until next time, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.